It's the KCC kids in the house. Everybody get your hands up, scream and shout. It's the KCC kids in the house to let them know Jesus is what we're all about. It's the KCC kids in the house. Everybody get your hands up, scream and shout. It's the KCC kids in the house to let them know Jesus is what we're all about.
Hey everybody, welcome to KCC Kids Vids, the most extreme edition we have ever done. We have a hot sauce challenge for you today. This last Sunday, if you're second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, or sixth grade, you were able to experience a hot sauce challenge at church in which we ate some Taco Bell hot sauces and kind of talked about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and the story of the fiery furnace in the book of Daniel in the Bible. So I still have those hot sauces as promised. Here's the mild Taco Bell hot sauce. Here's the hot Taco Bell hot sauce. Here's the fire Taco Bell hot sauce, and their most hot, the Diablo Taco Bell hot sauce. By the way, huge shout out to Taco Bell for donating these packets for us to Portable Church of Christ for our kids ministry to use. Thank you so much, Taco Bell. But I wanted to go a little past that. The Diablo sauce is fairly hot. I had one on a chip. It's kind of hot, but I wanted to go up a notch. So here we have Frank's Red Hot Cayenne Pepper sauces from my pantry. So I know how hot that is. El Yucateco Chile Habanero sauce, also from my pantry. This stuff is very hot. I know the heat of that one as well. This one I don't know. It's into the unknown right here, just like Elsa. She's into the unknown. It's a Frozen 2 reference. Actually, I might want a little bit of Frozen on my mouth after I eat these hot sauces. So this is extra hot sauce from Chile Yucateco. It's the same as this sauce, except it's twice as spicy. So very hot. This is called Pain 100%. This actually is made to hurt people. So extremely hot, kind of getting into the dangerous spot. This I'm only going to use one drop of. These I'll use these generously, but I'll only use one drop of this. And then this one is actually in the dangerous category. This is called Vicious Viper. It has a warning label on it right here in this big yellow bar right here. It says, warning, extremely hot. Use as a food supplement only one drop at a time. Avoid contact with eyes and sensitive areas and keep away from children and pets. Use responsibly. So responsibly, I will just use one drop of this on a chip, and it's still going to hurt very, very badly. So I have my milk. I have my ice cream, just in case. I just ate a bunch of, I ate 4 sandwiches, so my stomach's a little bit more full, so it should be able to take in a little bit of this hotter stuff. And actually, some of the hot stuff is a little too hot for skin contact. It will burn my skin, so I'm going to go ahead and put on these gloves that are probably a little too small for me, but that's okay. Don't do this. It's not smart. To be honest, I'm scared. I've been dreading this basically all night. I didn't sleep too well last night because I knew that I was going to do this today. But I want to kind of relate just how insane it was for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to do what they did, as I'm going to take this mild sauce right here. And Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were basically taken captive and forced. Oh, I just got that on my Bible. They were forced to live in Babylon, and they were forced to train to be part of the king's service, really. As here is Taco Bell mild sauce full on the chip. I can't show you much because it's dripping. Here we go. No problem. So let's go to hot. But yeah, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were some people who were actually told or forced to live in Babylon to train to be in the king's service. And basically what the goal was to make them forget where they were from, forget what they knew, and be trained to know things about Babylon. And so these guys had already been taken from home. These guys were didn't really want to be where they were, but they were, and they made the most of it. And that's when, after a couple of stories, and they've been there for a couple of years, King Nebuchadnezzar decided he was going to build a statue. And this statue, as you can see the hot sauce right here, the statue is 90 feet tall, as big as basically a 9-story building, maybe a 6-story building with a really tall ceiling. I kind of feel the hot, a little bit. Actually, the hot is hotter than I thought it would be. It got pretty good flavor, I actually like it. So, huge statue, and King Nebuchadnezzar says, I am going to make everybody bow. And for those who don't bow to my statue, I'm going to throw into a fiery furnace. The fiery furnace was actually a cultural thing. That's not something that was built just for this. It was already a punishment that happened for things. Here's the fire sauce right here. You can see on my chip. Go ahead and eat that. Yeah, fire is my favorite Taco Bell sauce. That's good stuff. I can tell it's getting a little bit spicier. A little bit spicier. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego knew, by the way, they knew if they refused to bow before the statue of Nebuchadnezzar, they would be thrown into fire. Excuse me. Wow. Essentially, they said, I don't care. It doesn't matter that we're going to be put into the fire because we're going to only worship God. We're going to do what is right. Here is the Diablo sauce. It's about to fall off the chip, so I'm going to go ahead and eat that. Not a huge fan of the Diablo sauce. Not my favorite. I like fire better. It is a little spicy though. So we're getting there. I'm going to eat some ice cream. Kind of clear my palate as we get into the really hot stuff. Oh, ice cream's so good. Here we go. On to Frank's Red Hot Cayenne Pepper Sauce. And what's interesting is when King Nebuchadnezzar had heard that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were not bowing, he summoned them. He was angry. He had them come forward and basically warned them again. The king actually said to them, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, is what I heard about you true? Do you not serve my gods? Don't you worship the gold statue that I set up? You hear the horns, the flutes, the zithers, the lyres, the harps, the pipes, and other musical instruments. When you do, fall down and worship the statue that I made. If you will, that's good. But if you don't bow down, you will be thrown at once into a blazing furnace. Then what God will be able to save you from my powerful hand? So not only is King Nebuchadnezzar threatening Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, telling them what's going to happen, punishing them, but he's also kind of challenging God, right? He says, what God can save you from that? This comes out slow because it's real hot. So here's the Frank's Cayenne Pepper Sauce. I tried to put about a packet's worth on there. Here we go. Oh. That's not meant to be eaten on a chip. That's not very good like that. Just a little bit hotter than Diablo, but just doesn't taste good on a chip. All right. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they said to the king, King Nebuchadnezzar, we don't need to talk about this anymore. Right? They said, we might be thrown into the blazing furnace, but the God we serve is able to bring us out of it alive. He will save us from your powerful hand. And they said, we want you to know this, even if we knew that our God wouldn't save us, we still wouldn't serve your gods. We wouldn't worship the gold statue you set up. And I think that's important for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego as we go to the El Yucateco, hot sauce. They said, even if God wouldn't save us, we still would do what's right. We still only worship God. And I think that's huge for them to say. So here's the Chile habanero sauce from El Yucateco. I know this stuff is spicy. This is where I'm starting to get a little nervous. It's starting to get a little hot in here. Here we go. Kind of a late burner. Now it's kind of picking up. Yep. So as I eat more hot sauces, it's actually going to cause me to start losing concentration, and it'll be harder for me to speak, as you'll kind of figure out. But my vision will probably get a little blurry. My words will be a little more slurred, and it will be harder for me to focus. So, woo! Nebuchadnezzar was angry. He was hot with rage. He was hot with rage. Man, it's burning. So he was hot with rage. He set the furnace to 7 times hotter than usual, which is a pretty hot furnace, right? Gotta love ice cream. In fact, it was so hot that the guards who were in charge of throwing Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into the furnace actually died from the heat, just from getting close to it. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were thrown into the furnace 7 times hotter than it usually is, and it was already deadly, right? But it didn't matter. They went in, no questions asked, right? They told Nebuchadnezzar, there's no need to discuss it any further. We're not going to do it. Even if God wouldn't save us, we didn't do it. Wow, that's a lot. That's going to hurt. Okay. My nose is getting runny. And they said, we don't care about your fire. We're going to do what's right. We're going to serve the Lord. And it just took a lot of guts for them to do that. Kind of like it's going to take a little bit of guts for me to do this right now. Oh, this one's not going to taste good either. And it's very hot. So here we go. Extra, extra, extra hot from Chile Yucateco. It was terrible. Actually, I kind of like the smoky flavor, just to be on something, but not just. That's warm. That's warm. It's burning my tongue. It's very hot. Yay, kids vids. Wow. Okay. 2 more to go. Oh, man. Oh. Oh boy. Okay, so and I need to get some more chips here. Yeah, miscounted. It's burning my tongue real bad. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were brave. They knew what was coming, and we didn't care. They said, we're going to do what's right. They knew there was a very real chance that they wouldn't survive. And yet, they said that they were going to worship God and God alone. No one's making me do this. This is all voluntary because I felt like doing a video. But this stuff actually gets dangerous even. And to think Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego actually went into a fire willingly, a real fire, to do what's right is just insane to worship God alone. So it's just an incredible story. God protected them, right? They came out of the fire. When they were done, they didn't even smell like smoke. So they came out completely unharmed. If we threw ourselves into a fiery furnace, there's a good chance God wouldn't protect us because we threw ourselves into a fiery furnace. But he has the power to, and he proved that here in Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I said one drop, but that's not much. All right. Ooh. All right, there's a little bit of stuff on there. This is really red. It's bright red. A little different. Let me coat my mouth one more time. It's getting really hot. So actually, when you eat hot sauce, your brain is tricked into thinking that you're actually on fire. So right now, there are signals in my mouth telling my brain that my mouth is on fire. So that saying my mouth is on fire is not just a joke. It's actually real. There's actually merit to it. I'm a winner. This is about 12,000 Scoville heat units. This is at least 20,000. Much hotter than this is. This is about 6,000. So 6,000, 12,000, up to 20,600 Scoville heat units. And we're not done yet. The flavor's okay. I'm just gonna be honest with you. A little disappointed. Just gonna be honest with you. Oh, there it was. We got the throat. I was getting ready to do an extra chip of this. I'm gonna do an extra chip of this. I can do it. A little bit more this time. 20,000 Scoville heat units. Bon appetit. Take it back. It's hot. It's not disappointing. The flavor's very harsh. Just to swallow. And I can't even open this jar. Whoa, this is not good. Okay, I'm gonna cut real fast. So when I can open it. Oh wait, I'm opening it right now. Okay. So I have the vicious viper open. I don't know how many heat units this is. The Taco Bell fire sauce is 500 Scoville heat units. This right here is 12 times hotter at 6,000. This is 24 times hotter than the fire. It's 12,000 Scoville heat units. I believe this is 20,600 Scoville heat units from what I've read, which is 41 times the heat of fire sauce. This stuff is the dangerous stuff. It's 250,000 Scoville heat units, 250,000 Scoville heat units. I'm at the point where I can't really focus. I feel like I can't talk very well. But this is going to be by far the hottest stuff that I've ever put in my mouth, probably ever will. Not how to do it. When I think about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, I think about how they didn't have to do the fiery furnace. They were, they could have just bowed to the statue. They knew it was going to burn. They knew they would potentially die. But they said, we know what's right, we're going to do it. We won't bow to the statue, the king Nebuchadnezzar set up, we will only worship God. And the fear that I have of eating this is real. I'm scared to eat this. Right now, I'm shaking, I'm scared. How scared? It didn't even seem like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were even scared. They just trusted in God, and they knew that they were going to do the right thing. So I really commend those guys for doing that. My brain thinks my mouth is on fire. As I said, I'm only going to use one drop of this because it's actually dangerous. Doesn't smell very good, but here we go. $250,000 Scoville heat units. One of the top 50 hottest sauces in the world. Now in my mouth. Feels like someone literally lit my mouth up. Someone lit my mouth on fire. Don't do this. Do not do this at home. It is a terrible idea. I'm gonna put like ice cream in my mouth. It hurt really bad. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego are nuts for doing them. To be thrown into fire on purpose for doing what they knew is right. It's unbelievable. So thank you guys for watching KCC Kids Vids. Join us for the Fall Fest, not the Fall Fest, Trunk or Treat on Wednesday night, October 28th at 6:30. It's going to be fun, get lots of candy. And until next time, adios amigos. I'm going to go bathe in ice cream.
It's the KCC kids in the house. Everybody get your hands up, scream and shout. It's the KCC kids in the house. To let them know Jesus is what we're all about. It's the KCC kids in the house. Everybody get your hands up, scream and shout. It's the KCC kids in the house. To let them know Jesus is what we're all about.